I was listening to Judd Apatow on Pete Holmes' podcast, You Made It Weird, back in 2018. And this was when Judd was putting together this documentary, great documentary, about Gary Shandling, which I finally recently got around to watching 4 years later. So Gary, he was into Zen Buddhism, which I know nothing about. But in relation to that, he spoke about the concept of performance and non-performance blending such that you were trying very hard, but at the same time, not trying at all. Because you are just being you, and that's coming through to the audience organically, right? So in the podcast discussion, they compared it to, muscle memory of really great athletes who are able to put aside, the mental clutter and just sort of let the game come to them in the moment. Judd said some of the best advice Gary ever gave him was for his characters in his shows and movies, don't try to be funny. That's when you get off track. Don't try to be a comedian. Just be the authentic you. So for characters in the shows, Judd would always say, to himself, what would a real person with this character's life, experience, and position in this scene do if this really happened or this was really said? Don't go for the funny line or reaction, go for the authentic line or reaction. That's the truth in comedy that people really want. I'm going back to Shakespeare again, understanding human nature, understanding authentic human emotions and the core of humanity. That's why Shakespeare is so popular today. It's because he did that better than anybody. So why am I bringing this up in the context of absurdity? Because you can get off track if you try to be absurd just to get a laugh, right? You still have to find the human authenticity within the absurdity so that people can relate and connect and get it. Something led you to want to go on this weird absurdist journey with this goofy stand-up bit you're doing. But how do you give that audience that same itch, right? You have some sort of itch that needs scratch. That's why you're doing this. Maybe other people have it too, but if you just start scratching them, before they have the itch, that's confusing. Why are you scratching me? They need to feel what you feel to justify the itch scratching. I think this is making sense. And the way they feel what you feel is by you being authentic and not posturing and pretending to be something you aren't. How about that? That's what's so interesting is there can be hacky absurdist humor, right? What's worse than that? That shouldn't exist. Like, you do this strange, unique performance thing, and yet somehow it comes across as artificial and constructed and an imitation of someone or something else.